kind of what I had in mind for this YouTube channel is to pretty much just share what I learned, you know what I'm saying, and capture it, you know. And I've been wanting to get into book breakdowns and things of that nature, but I didn't know how I wanted to go about it, um, and things like that. But I just told myself, you know what, just start, just do it. You know what I'm saying? And you'll grasp, ideas and what you really want to do as you go. You know what I'm saying? You get creative with it as you go. It's probably not gonna come out perfect, as you when you first do it. But I think, as I keep pushing these out there, putting them out there, I'll get more creative with it. Um, so today, actually, let me grab that book. Today we have Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. Um, Amazing people, by the way. Props to them for creating such a valuable book and things of that nature. If you know me, if you follow my Instagram, I've been talking about this book for a little while now. Read it twice. I went back into it. I wrote down all the important stuff. You know, created my summaries of it. Like really, really went intact with this book. I love it. Because it's just so valuable and so informational. Now, today we're going to be talking about chapter 1, right? And as you've seen in the title of this video, how attachment styles affect the way that we love. Um, we're going to, talk a little bit about that today. And yeah, so let's get into it. You'll probably see me, glance at my computer every here and there because I got all my notes right here, and things like that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, how do attachment styles affect the way that we love? The biggest way that they affect the way that we love is they affect the way that we view intimacy, right? And how comfortable we are with it. And you think like everybody would be, cool with being intimate and close with somebody, but the truth is, to an extent, that isn't true. Um, as you get closer and closer with somebody, different things about yourself start to reveal, so and it and they affect the way that you navigate that relationship in every way, shape, and form. When it comes to a relationship, it all comes down to intimacy and how comfortable you are with that, right? So we have 3 different types of attachment styles. The first one is the secure attachment style. I talked about this in a past video, but we're just gonna go over it one more time. So the first attachment style is the secure attachment style. So people with this attachment style, they're comfortable with intimacy. Like it's no biggie. Like they're open to it. Like their viewpoint of relationships is warm, it's loving. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally in the name secure. They have a secure way of doing things, of seeing things, and so on and so forth. Um, these are the people you want. If you're not that, these are the kind of people you want to like pay attention to. You want to learn from, and you want to slowly start to become. Right. Second attachment style is the anxious attachment style. Now, this attachment style, are for the people who, as the name states, are anxious. They crave intimacy, right? They crave it. Um, they are huge overthinkers. They're very anxious, very worried all the time, about their partner and their partner's ability to love them back. Do this person like me? Do they think I'm enough? Etc. Etc. Like very, very preoccupied with the relationship all the time, right? Big worriers, big overthinkers again. The third kind of attachment style is the avoidant attachment style. And this is what I mean when I say not every person is comfortable with intimacy, because the person with an avoidant attachment style isn't, right? They may be cool with it in the beginning, as they're getting to know somebody, everything is fresh. But as things get closer and closer, they start to feel as if their own independent self is in jeopardy. Like they're losing, like, their independency, right? To put it straightforward, right? So these kind of people like their distance over anything else in the world. And so I'm pretty sure you can see how that can affect, you know, a relationship, right? Or say, you're in a relationship with someone who puts a wall up all the time, or are pretty much distant when, you try to hold their hands or you try to give them a kiss, or whatever the case might be, right? This is very, very potent, when it comes to a relationship. So, um, again, attachment styles affect the way that we love because they affect our viewpoint of intimacy, and this viewpoint, right, and how comfortable you are with intimacy, it comes out in almost every corner of the relationship when we talk about, well, like the fundamentals, right? When we talk about conflict, conflict resolution, sex, when we talk about communication, very, very important fundamental things when it comes to a relationship. Um, and it just goes to show how important it is that we know what our attachment style, because our attachment style has such that effect on those different things within a relationship. Now, for those who are out there who are watching this, um, if you notice, like, you're in a relationship and there are things in a relationship that you can't quite grasp or you can't quite explain, like, why am I this way, or why do I act like this, or why do my partner do this when I do this, and things of that nature. All those different habits, um, and actions that you go about, in a relationship, all comes down to your attachment style, the way that you perceive love, the way that you view intimacy, and things of that nature. So it's important that you start to pay attention to those things, right? And ask yourself, like, is this my attachment style sort of revealing itself or coming out? Because it always do as we get closer and closer with people. Um, and is it, and it's, are these habits insecure? Are they a reflection of my avoidancy or my anxiousness or anxiety? Or are these habits and actions secure, right? Or are they at least reflecting that in a way? And are they good for the relationship? Like, think about it. If you're a big overthinker, and you allow your thoughts to sort of dictate the way that you act, or your emotions dictate the way that you act, um, that can be bad for the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because emotions are all over the place, you know what I'm saying? And therefore your actions could be all over the place. Um, or say you're someone who avoiding, you're always putting a wall up. Um, just think to yourself, like, is this good for the relationship? And I think 9 times out of 10, it's not. So that's chapter 1 of this book. Pretty much is an introduction into these attachment styles, um, and sort of very briefly how they can affect a relationship. Um, what's important to note as well is we all have a need to form bonds. It's wired in us, but the way that we form them and the way that we develop these attachment styles sort of come from early childhood experiences, our relationships, early on in our lives. And those are what sort of form these attachment styles. They don't just come out of nowhere. You're not born secure. You're not born anxious. You're not born avoidant. These attachment styles form as we navigate our life. You know what I'm saying? They continue to not just form, but continue to change as we navigate relationships, even in adulthood. But again, they stem more so from the relationships that we have with our parents, right? So, if you know your parent was loving, was available, you're more than likely to have developed a secure attachment style. If your parent wasn't available, didn't really meet your needs as a kid, as a child, then you'll either form an anxious, like you start to crave it, you start to like really need it, so you lash out when you don't get it and things of that nature, or you put a wall up and you stop seeking that closeness with your parents. You stop seeking your needs being met by your parents, and you start to shut down emotionally. And so that's sort of how these attachment styles develop. Unfortunately, they follow us into adulthood, and they follow us into these romantic relationships and sort of influence the way that we act in them. But yes, so powerful when I learned this. To be a little bit more personal, I would, I would never make it past the talking stage. I will always find myself in these situationships, and I never like could really grasp why that was the case. A part of me wants a relationship, but then another part of me is like rather do my own thing, rather be distant, rather be alone. You know what I'm saying? And as I get closer and closer with a person, that other side to me starts to reveal itself so much more. And this book really helped me pinpoint why that's the case. So again, that's chapter 1. Very excited to go through all, I believe there's 12 chapters of this book, and really get into it. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I see y'all in the next vid.